let's say I'm somebody that, whether I don't know, whether, let's just take me for example and say I'm single because my spouse has passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have some money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I've sold my house and I really have basically like liquefied my assets to where it's just one pool of money and it's given me monthly income and I'm kind of living on that. So it's not like I have all these other things, but that's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
And I decide I want to go there because I could use a little bit of help and also I'd like the community, so I decided to go in. And I lived there for like 6 years and now I'm totally out of money. Um, does what is available to me get impacted by the fact that now I'm basically going off of funding?
Yeah, that's a really, really great question, and a very sad reality that I run into pretty frequently. Um, yes, I mean, bottom line is yes. If you're out of funds, it does limit where you can sleep at night. It does. Um, here's the there at least a bit of a fortunate thing is that all skilled nursing communities, I'm pretty sure, like I'm very confident in this, but um, are under federal law, not jurisdiction, but federal laws and mandates. So they have to accept Medicaid waiver because that's a federally funded program. Assisted living, I think, falls in a similar bracket. Well, and maybe not because there's some memory cares in town that don't accept Medicaid waiver. So it can really be wishy-washy. It's totally, I want to say it's community dependent otherwise. Um, let's say, but here's what kind of makes legacies a little special. We're family owned and family operated since the 90s. And we have, so basically, our founder, Jerry Joyce, he was our founder. He, in the 90s, he was looking for a community for his mom, Bernice. And Bernice was at home in just doing her own thing, but was having a hard time with just the normal day to day, the meals, the cooking, the cleaning, all that. And so he wanted to see what options there were out there to make her life a little easier. He looks around, and in Lincoln in the 90s, we're looking at two places, and both of them were nursing homes. These were
Okay.
old school, like you throw mom in there and leave her be, and that's it. Just kind of that.
And
Uh,
that's what I always picture because I
yeah,
used to visit my great grandma growing up,
yeah,
and there was like a code she couldn't
yep,
really leave, and that's always what I picture.
yes. And I had the same. I mean, you're born and raised York. I mean, you have small
Yeah,
town. It's not upscale. It's not. I mean, it is what's the word we use for it? It's industrialized, I think is the word. It's just cold. It's not warm. It's
yeah.
not welcoming. And so that was my perception. As and that perception is what so many people have, especially our prospective residents, because that's what they did with their parents. They put them in that cold, dark room that's industrialized and mechanical because that's all there was. So when Jerry was looking for Bernice back in the 90s, he was like, this is not going to fly. My mom is not living in one of these. So in retaliation, he built the legacy on 56 and Pioneers. And so that was so the philosophy is doing it for mom. You're just doing exactly what Jerry would do for mom. And we put residents first in every way. And that even includes in the financial aspect because you said, let's say you lived with me for 6 years and you run out of money. That does not matter because as long as you can pay 2 years of private pay, 2 years out of your own pocket, and live with us for that length of time, you're golden. You're good. I mean, we'll take care of you financially. Yeah, I mean, we've never kicked anybody out for financial reasons unless if they're being mischievous. I don't think that's ever been a thing, but we take care of people bottom line, and we accept Medicaid waiver in our assisted living, and uh, the other really cool thing is we don't really have a limit on our Medicaid waiver. A lot of communities in town, we only accept two Medicaid waiver because the state essentially, when you're on a Medicaid waiver, real quick, the state gives that community X amount of dollars. And that X amount of dollars is usually significantly less than what normal rent for that apartment would go for, right? So every Medicaid waiver that a business takes on is a poor business decision. As weird and gross as that sounds, but that's the truth. You're losing money. So a lot of communities in town do have a limit on their Medicaid waivers that they can have.
Wow,
We,
it's like they'll just say like two people,
yeah,
like that's it.
yeah. A lot of people, some of them will be 2, 3 to 5, I remember when I first started, I think, God, we had anywhere up to like 15. But that's because we just take care of our people. You spend money with us, we got you all the way through. As long as we can take care of you, we're there for you. And so that's what's really special. What I love about legacies now, it kind of inhibits people who are already on Medicaid waiver to move in with us because we're taking care of our internal folks first. That's what we
Right.
prioritize. So we do still make that business decision for folks from the outside. Like if you were living at a totally different community and you ran out of money after 6 years, whatever, and you call me up and you're like, hey, I'm on Medicaid waiver. Can I move in? Well, likelihood is a lot smaller because I probably have somebody internally who's, running out of money or needs help or something like that too. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a tough one,
Mhm.
that I think like not, and this isn't directed towards your firm, it's just like a tough thing for United States, like for people to think about
Mhm.
because um we all know it's just like crazy expensive. Mm, You know, I don't know about the different levels. They might maybe drastically goes up in price as you move like to get more and more medical care, but I feel like it's, 5,000 a month for some places or even more than that, and that's a total guess based on like something I heard maybe a decade ago. So
Yeah.
like, um, 5,000 a month, 60,000 net after taxes, like a lot for people to live on. So you would think that if you know, move in when you're 80,
Mhm.
you're not gonna live. I mean, you might outlive your money.
Mhm.
And so, like, what do people do when that happens?
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, that's such a serious thing you have to look at. And people stay home because they realize they'll run out of money after X amount of years. People decide to stay home because they'll know they're not, anybody can go get a, a financial advisor to figure out how long their money's going to last while living at a community. And that's why we talk so importantly about being proactive with our community because 2 years, we got you. And, um, you know,
That's
the,
really nice.
it,
That
it
just sounds like
is.
that's incredible.
It is amazing. I mean, there's been so many folks who just, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of really cool stories that have been logged up in the old brain, but there's just a lot of really cool moments where you're able to just help these people and they realize there's an option for them.